Good day everyone, I'm Michael from Team Buillerey and I'll be presenting to you our proposed entity for our subject Strategic Financial Plan. So our first approved entity is the Alpha Insurance and Surety Company Incorporated. It is a domestic corporation that provides services to its customers through non-life insurance. It is under the industry classification of insurance or services and it was established on May 13, 1957 and grew steadily as it made its presence felt throughout the insurance industry. It has developed new intermediaries and branched out across the country. So the entity has 280 employees and has 1.3 billion pesos on asset size as of 2018. Its original capitalization was 10 million pesos and its present net worth is 1.03 billion pesos. So for its affiliated companies, some of the private banks are BDO, Bank of Commerce, China Bank, East West Bank, Maybank, and Metro Bank. So for the leasing and financial institutions, some of them are Anchor Insurance Brokerage Corporation and Toyota Financial Services. For the government banks, some of them are Land Bank of the Philippines and Development Bank of the Philippines. For the other government institutions, some of them are Bureau of Customs, Department of Energy, National Food Authority, National Power Corporation, Regional Trial Court, and Supreme Court. And now for the reinsurance facility, some of them are National Reinsurance Corporation of the Philippines and more. So Alpha Insurance and Surety Company Incorporated is consistently surpassing their BEP sales with their actual sales. Therefore, the problem of the entity is not on their revenue because their actual sales are significantly higher than their BEP sales. After computing for the financial ratios, all the liquidity ratios are favorable, and for profitability, only the gross profit margin, return on assets, and return on equity are unfavorable. Now for the solvency ratios and leverage analysis, all of them are favorable as well. While for the efficiency ratios, only the fixed assets turnover ratio is favorable, while assets turnover, accounts receivable turnover, equity turnover, accounts payable turnover, and working capital turnover are all unfavorable. And the growth potential of the entity is 27%. Let us now tackle the problems that have been identified by our team. For the first specific problem, the entity has unfavorable accounts receivable turnover. This is characterized by the entity's inability to convert the receivables into cash sales. So after conducting an interview with the entity, according to Ms. May Baptista, the AVP for Finance, they have a loose policy when it comes to their collections, resulting to 323 days before they collect their premium receivables. So for the second specific problem, the entity has unfavorable asset turnover. This is characterized by slow conversion of assets. As you can see, the entity takes 681 days to convert their assets into cash sales. Now this may be caused by little to no investments at all. So for the third specific problem, the entity has unfavorable accounts payable turnover. This is characterized by the slow conversion of payables to sales. Now, after conducting an interview with Ms. May Baptista, the AVP for Finance of Alpha Insurance, they told us that they have 90-day allowance before they recognize their premiums paid as their income. But as you can see in the computation, they actually take them 514 days, which is longer than their usual 90-day allowance. After identifying 3 specific problems, we were able to come up with this SOP map. So again, for the first specific problem or symptom, they have unfavorable accounts receivable turnover. Now the cause of this specific problem is that it takes the entity 323 days to collect their accounts receivable. This is longer than the usual 90-day allowance. Now, the cause of this cause or the overarching problem is that the entity has a loose policy and a poor collection management. For the second specific problem, they have unfavorable asset turnover. And the cause of this is with the amount of assets invested that is quite low to almost none, the entity is not receiving enough return. And the overarching problem or the cause of this cost is that the entity is not efficient in managing their assets in general. And for the last specific problem or symptom, they have unfavorable accounts payable turnover. Now, the cause of this symptom is that the entity takes 514 days to recognize their liability, which is also known as the premiums paid, as income as it matures. This is longer than the usual 90-day allowance. Now, after these three specific problems, we came up with this main problem or the root cause, which is the entity suffers from poor working capital management. Now, all of this data were gathered through personal interview with the AVP of Finance of Alpha Insurance, the general information sheet provided by Securities and Exchange Commission, and through their website. Thank you.